The Xbox tax isn't real. It's a lie. According to an audience member of mine, it's not just a lie, but it's a lie that people like you keep on spreading. Interesting. So I've been talking about how this media bias in the gaming community is what I call the Xbox tax. That's my definition. Over time, I've seen some people either throw ad hominems, maybe try to reframe the argument, but I haven't let them because I'm not arguing that Xbox needs to be mocked for your own problems with them 10 years ago. I'm talking about what I see in the media today as a open, brazen bias against them while PlayStation gets coddled. This person, Batman65410, shout out to you for your comment. I think it unveils what we're talking about. They said it's a lie and people like me keep spreading it. And I said, okay, let's see if it's real or not. And then they said, how about you show some evidence? And I said, well, good thing you asked. Because earlier in the day before recording this video, I'd actually created a playlist and I made a video about the playlist. And I titled the playlist Xbox Tax. I just said that way we can collate all the data. If anybody is worried or, questioning it, we could just say, here's what we're seeing. Take a look yourself. And then they went for the personal attack. Oh, yeah, you got that from an article. How pitiful are you? Calm down. We're just talking about video games. Why do people get so much in their feelings? When he requested evidence and I pointed evidence and now I'm pitiful? But it's okay. I'm going to provide what I think is probably the biggest Xbox tax pill that I had ever seen. This one affected me in a negative way personally. I kind of felt bad. I really remember it, and it's just not going away. I'm an outsider. I mean, I play on PC, play on PlayStation, so this was actually really strange. Now, I went back and I remembered the Destin scenario, the situation where he had just made a video. If you just go Destin Xbox tax on YouTube, you'll see that video where he said, the Xbox tax isn't real. He was trying to maybe bring some, measure to the conversation. Now, he is an IGN employee, so that's a whole different conversation, but we know that he has an affinity towards Xbox. Then, just a month after that, the Game Awards were coming up, and in that particular Game Award presentation, this went down. This was very interesting. I know the internet, we sometimes forget, but I want for us to actually just watch this and maybe remember what was going on. Somebody recorded this on, I think, maybe their phone, so the audio may not necessarily be, the most pristine. But Unlimited Productions, thank you so much for actually keeping this video out here. I'll play it.
It would be enough for Xbox. In 2024, having Hellblade 2 and Stalker 2 would be enough for Xbox.
No, they're going to have more than that, of course.
Well, but we don't know.
I mean, they've also teased Fable. We got that.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's coming in 2024 is all. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Starfield expansion is also slated. I shattered something. But I think that would hit in 2024. Yeah. That could get a tease tonight. And we're all worried about the player numbers going down. So.
I mean, they have.
I'm being sarcastic.
No, they have.
Well, yeah, it's a single player game. Okay. So, yeah.
All right. We have got to take a quick break. But
this was weird. Now, I don't know how you take it, but I remember when everybody saw this, just right after he had made that video, it kind of lent to the irony. He was getting talked over. The gentleman that was in the lumberjack shirt, I think that's what he was wearing, some kind of red lumberjack shirt. I don't know who he is. I know he appears on IGN on a lot of shows. He seemed to not have any confidence in Xbox's lineup, even though they had announced like all those games. He seemed to say, well, that wasn't seemingly going to be enough for 2024, especially with the express knowledge that PlayStation did not have any first-party games slated for 2024. Think about it. Like, he's sitting there. He's in the press. He knows that in 2024, PlayStation has no first-party lineup. Yet, he lists 2 Xbox games. His peers are trying to tell him, like, hey, they've teased some other games and there's a DLC. And he doesn't seem to care, but continues to say that it doesn't seem like that's enough for Xbox. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is not a bias that showed itself open, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to tell you. But again, it's an unrealistic expectation a lot of these folk want to actually, set. I'm not going to fall for that. I mean, I already know that this is not professional by any means, by any stretch. Journalistic integrity is a very high bar. I don't even claim, will never claim to actually have it, because I have my own biases. Especially, you guys will see me when somebody says talk smack out, about PC. You'll see me in full form. Some of you think, you come on the channel, you say, oh, he's an X-bot. You've not seen me. If I was an X-bot, oh yeah, that's a whole different conversation. This is me just, at like 5%, just chiming in. You see me when I'm talking about PC, it's a whole different monster that gets unleashed, because I don't back down in that conversation. See, because, on the PC side, it's all science, Does this CPU run this game? Go test it out. Does this GPU run this game? Go test it out. What kind of RAM did you use? This RAM works. Like, we will be sitting there and be churning out numbers and just be sitting there like, yo, watching hundreds of hours of videos because we're trying to get the average freaking FPS score. So for us, it's a chore. So for people to come down and talk about that stuff, it can get a PC player riled up. However, in the case of this, I'm just looking at this from the outside position, and I gotta say, man, this is just disappointing at the end of the day. Why? This affects the consumer. It does. These are the people tasked with actually giving the information. However, they cannot let their bias sit away for just a few minutes. Let's even read the comments on the video to see what people were reacting. That reveal, oh yeah, that was actually the same evening that they revealed Blade. Somebody said, if you expect non-bias from any journalist, video game, political, otherwise these days, you'll be disappointed. What a joke, said this person. And these people are supposed to be representing gaming? Shaking my head. Somebody pointed out and said, how about the Spider-Man game numbers at the time? Nobody could see those numbers, but it usually will fizzle out for a single player game. This is the way it goes. Compared to even a Bethesda game, a Bethesda game will outlast a Spider-Man game based on modding and all the stuff you can do in Bethesda game sandboxes. We know this from Elder Scrolls and even Fallout 76. Yo, y'all thought Starfield was bad. Fallout 76 had, in my opinion, the worst launch. Yet Bethesda fans are like, we're going to go back and play a sandbox. Because that's how Bethesda fans interact with their games. It's a very different kind of, it's a different kind of audience. So this particular situation really did wake me up to this. I thought, man, even openly and brazenly, they just downplayed what Xbox was doing, which, like I've said before, is Xbox out of desperation responding to an industry that they basically failed in a previous generation. They know they failed. When the head of, Microsoft Gaming comes out and says we lost the console war in the PS4 generation, that's in my opinion, to me, that's ownership right there. Ask anybody that knows anything about leadership and ownership. The first thing about a problem is to actually state and acknowledge the problem. The next thing is to start taking steps to resolve the problem. And that's what Xbox is doing. Fortunately, PlayStation tipped them off to go to buy some publishers. Remember, I keep telling you that PlayStation is a catalyst for Xbox owning Bethesda, and we all know it. They had already started to cop a lot of those, Bethesda games. They had Deathloop, they had Ghostwire. Then they were negotiating Starfield, and that's when Xbox, according to the FTC trials, I think that's what Xbox was like. We're like, oh, you know what? We just can't sit back and let these guys keep doing this. It seems like Bethesda's got something, and we got a good relationship. They leveraged it. $7 billion a steal. Then Call of Duty came in and started, trying to shake their weight. Oh, well, we might remove Call of Duty from Xbox if we don't get a higher profit share. And Phil looked at, Satya, and Satya looked at Phil and said, all right, that email that you sent when you said we're in a position to outspend, Sony, let's actually outspend them. And they did. I mean, PlayStation's been, money hatting, which is different. I mean, exclusivity is kind of weird at the end of the day, but still, this is where we are. But you can tell the moment that acquisition went through, it just ramped up like crazy. And we don't have to do too much work to be able to see the evidence. It's not even been a whole day, and I've already gathered like 3 or 4 of these things. In fact, the PC Gamer post on Twitter was just today, right as people were telling me that I'm actually, making this stuff up. Somebody telling me that I was spreading conspiracies. No. A conspiracy would be, you know, more hypothetical. When I'm showing you evidence and you still are saying conspiracy, then, you know, you might be in denial or something like that. But it's okay. I want to gather as much as I can. And like I've said, those of you in the community, if you have any examples, toss them my way. I'll go look at it. If, in my opinion, I see a media bias and I look in a comparable state of what PlayStation was doing and the press did not report nor treat it the same way, then I know we have bias on our hands. It's not hard to actually, you know, discern. Thanks for watching this video. Appreciate you guys so much. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Peace out.